If you like this video, please smash that like button. I'm working on my watch hours. You know the drill. So this video is about how skateboarding became popular.
It's us.
Yes, this is just a short video on how skateboarding is where it is right now and why it became like so popular. Seemingly after like the 4 year, you know, the X Games seasons and like the early 90s and all that. So that's what this video is just taking base on, is skateboarding, the rise of skateboarding. I'm not gonna like start from the history of skateboarding because everybody knows the history, Dogtown, LA, you know, the guys that weren't, you know, super popular in high school. Oh, well, they were super popular in high school, but more like bullies. A lot of people don't cover and talk about why skateboarding is so popular today. If you want to see that video, please stick around. I don't know why I look so damn greasy. What the hell going on? But anyway, so the main extreme sport back in the day was rollerblading. Well, that and BMX, dirt bike, stuff like that. And rollerblading was like a $6 billion industry. Sorry, I don't have a tripod, so I'm trying to like put my hand like a tripod. So rollerblading was like a $6 billion industry, right? And it dominated everything in extreme sports. It mainly started from skiers in the off season to still get their practice runs in and stuff like that by strapping on the blades because of simulated skis. That's why they're like such in a bladed position, you know, with all four wheels going that way instead of the staggered roller skate, which is just basically two skateboard trucks on both wheels. So you have 4 skateboard trucks. But actually the penny board and all that stuff had a craze, but nobody knew that skateboarding could, 1, get the attention that it would, and then 2, be popular enough and lucrative enough, 3, to get all these companies to make money. So somebody had a big idea and they're like, hey, we're gonna create a magazine to popularize skateboarding. And not only that, we're gonna create all these products, but we're gonna be like a poly corporation, meaning many different entities, but they own them all. So like for instance, Luxottica. Luxottica is the same brand that Sunglass Hut operates from, and Sunglass Hut also is operated by LensCrafters, and Luxottica Inc., or Luxottica, like I keep saying Luxottica, is the parent company of all those companies. So basically they're just, it's like a loop of all this cash to come into one to make one big corporation from just one. Just like Chipotle is owned by McDonald's. Upon further research, I guess they pulled out in 1998, so I just want to make sure I don't perpetuate any false information. So there you go, back to the video. So a lot of the companies like Independent, but Independent, the bearing companies, wheel companies, I'm not sure about Spitfire, but all those accessory companies and stuff like that. And I think there was one Born company, but I'm not too sure exactly because I didn't Google this. This is off of like real life and knowledge from OGs that were in the skate game before me. So kind of like a campfire thing, but with actual facts. But they came together and they made 2 magazines. They made Thrasher Skateboard Magazine, and they also made Transworld Skateboard Magazine. And if you look at those magazines back in the day, all those ads, well, the earlier ads from the Thrasher, since we can like sequentially or sequence the numbers down to the first issue. They all have ads from companies that they own. So independent trucks was a way for Thrasher to get sponsorship, but also to promote it. So that's why you see independent everywhere, and not Thunder, and not Tensor and stuff like that, like back in the day. It's gonna be predominantly independent. If you want, like, open any Thrasher magazine, you're gonna see independent all day. So that's just crazy. But that's just a little part of the story. So these companies were like, I really need to overtake skate or rollerblading. Rollerblading was becoming like a rich man's thing, basically. It's like what the rich people did out in LA or whatever other rich parts are in California. I'm not too sure of all of them. I'm not rich yet. But it became like the yuppie thing to do. And what a yuppie is basically, let's see. A yuppie is kind of like rich people now, like a preppy, like a prep. That's basically what yuppie was back in the day. The yuppies were preps. And I'm pretty sure people know what preps was like. You know, parents making $4 or $5 million, you know, and they're young, coming up in the world, but they're good. You know, all the people back in the day, people we don't see nowadays, because I don't know, that's kind of weird if you think about it, the economy, and you don't really see yuppies. Like, you know, people are getting money and they have like that financial security, but you really just rarely don't see or interact with those people, which is kind of crazy. Anyway, so rollerblading actually started at the X Games because it got so popular. And the X Games first rollout was all aggressive inline skating. Rollerblading. You had Arlo Eisenberg. You had Senate. He created the Senate brand. Salomon, Rosie's, all these companies just like sprung up to capitalize on the rollerblade craze. And the company Rollerblade actually trademarked the name rollerblade. So if you ever put rollerblade, that's like the reason why you get just one company, Rollerblade, and not any other, because they trademarked it for money. Which, I don't know how I feel about that. But the downfall of rollerblading came when Big Brother and Jackass came. So, Big Brother magazine was a skateboarding magazine back in the early 2000s, back when World Industries was like the thing to ride. And people would be like, remember the ad where Danny Way did, I don't know, some frontside air or something like that on a huge vert ramp, and they're throwing money from a helicopter? If not, I'll probably insert the clip here because I have the internet. But their main mission was to create the stigma of skateboarders hating rollerbladers. And I remember there was an interview with Arlo Eisenberg, one of the rollerbladers, and he was saying how they used to get respected back in the day when the X Games first started, and then later on when skateboarding became the social fad, or the social outcast thing to do, because it cost hella money to rollerblade. You had rollerblade parks, you had people in tight spandex rollerblading and all this weird shit. A lot of people didn't have money for that or wanted to do that. So when the skateboards came out, you know, back from their decline, because this thing was like, okay, so think of skateboarding was right here, right? They didn't even invent rollerblades yet. Close to like the early 90s, that's when like the rollerblade thing, and then it went like this, while skateboarding was down here, rollerblade was up here like, yeah, we're big chillin'. And it was rising and rising and rising until the downfall when the X Games and all that came. But, so what Big Brother did, they had ads for rollerbladers, standing ads. They would tell them what they're doing, and then they put words like F rollerblade. I think they coined the term fruit booger and blase blase. They said, rollerbladers are flashy, rich dudes. They're not in tune with the world and blah, blah, blah. And a lot of people connected rollerblading with money and being better in society. And so when the X Games rolled out, skateboarding was backed by super investor Stacy Peralta, other people who were in the shadows that I did not know their names of. But there's a massive outpouring to get skateboarding to be a thing. Because at the time, skateboards declined, and all you had to, basically, you know what it is? Way back in the 60s and 70s, all that bowl and vert skating, people didn't want to be like NASCAR, I think, in my opinion. I don't think they wanted to be like NASCAR and just be like, oh, that's tight. And this is like, probably was ad nauseum of the same tricks, and maybe a small percentage of people actually doing something new. So I'm pretty sure that's what started like the decline of, skateboarding in the beginning. And then that, and the closure of skate parks, and then drugs. But people who like avoided all that, like Tony Hawk, and still did it, like skateboarding has evolved to right now, everything's easy to skate. But back then they had too tiny of wheels, trucks messed up, board didn't have no concave. All of these things that they had, all these factors they had to deal with, and still they made something happen. So, I don't know how I feel about that, but from that time period, some people kept their money and then poured into Big Brother and other outlets that said they are on a mass mission to take out rollerblading. Because why not? I think it's just a bunch of bored rich people. Anyway, I wouldn't be here. Well, I don't know if I would be here, but I don't know. It's a bunch of rich people, bored with money, wanted to make more money. So that's what they did. And it's a whole ad campaign of destroying rollerblading, calling them fruit booters, putting them down, not allowing them access to skate parks, and putting no rollerblading, blah, blah, blah. And that ultimately killed rollerblading in the late 90s, early 2000s, and that's why you've seen everybody picking up a board or breaking an arm skateboarding and then saying, this ain't for me, and then, throw it to the side. But yeah, and then eventually leading us today, where everybody skateboards, everybody has trick tips, everybody's trying to do something. But I believe the trick tip era won't go away, because the thing about skateboarding, when you get older and you actually learn these little tricks, like the where to actually put your toes, or where to consistently have your foot for a kick flip, and different hard flip and tray flips or whatever, you get a feel of your feet for the board, right? And it just opens up different levels of knowledge that you never thought, which is hella like, aha moment knowledge, but you're like, why can't I get this years ago? But you want to kind of fast track other people on their journeys of skateboarding, because basically I want to see something sick when I'm older. And I'm pretty sure all the skaters, when they get older, they want to see something sick too. I mean, even though I can't necessarily do it, like I want to watch some sick footage and be like, yeah, I'm still skateboarding, you know what I mean? And that's why I spread my knowledge so people can do whatever they want to do and, be who they want to be. But that's basically how skateboarding became popularized to what it is today. I love skateboarding, rollerblading. I was really good at it. Got sponsored, all that stuff, and then broke my arm 2 plates, 24 screws later, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to hang that up, because I got this thing in my arm and it does not feel human. Skateboarding, haven't had that problem, so I might fall a lot in skateboarding. My legs might hurt, hips might hurt, or be tired, but I ain't breaking no bones. So make sure you like and subscribe if you like this story time. If you want some more of this, it's kind of raining outside, and I'm charging this crazy beastie electric scooter. It's like $1,000. This thing goes like 60. If you want to see that video, I'll have to get a tripod now, but I'm gonna make that happen. But anyway, thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.